Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, welcome to my channel. My name's Alexa, and in today's video we are doing something very exciting. We are bringing back, well, technically this one is the upgraded version, the TBR jar. I have changed the prompts because the prompts were originally from over 2 years ago, so I thought it was time for a little update. I wrote them down myself and I actually thought of the prompts myself, so they might not be amazing prompts, but I was like, let me write down 40 or no, I think I wrote down like 50 prompts, 50 or 55, so we have a lot of choices. And last time I did this type of video I think was about a year ago, and honestly I really missed it. I had fun doing it, don't know why I haven't done it since, but I thought I would really like make these videos, like these monthly videos that I post, as fun as possible for you guys, because I feel like sometimes if it's the regular TBR video it can get repetitive. So I'm gonna try to really start like spicing up the videos. I don't know why I said it like that, but yeah. In here we have 50 prompts. Some are about like the contents of the book, some are the cover, the book length, some are the authors. Like I have a bunch of prompts about different things that the book could be in. It's not like actual books in here. So for example, there's some that are like a book set in Canada or like translated fiction. So it's gonna make my TBR maybe a bit more different than what I would usually pick by myself, because I was like, I have some videos planned, but I don't have that many reading vlogs that are like book specific. Like I need to read a specific type of book this month, so it could be fun to pick some books like this. I'm gonna start, I think I'm probably gonna pull about 10 books, like 10 prompts. If there's time for more, if it's not too long, then we'll pick more, but I'm thinking probably 10 prompts because I want to be better at actually reading my TBR instead of picking too many books and then being like, this is my TBR, and it's like I end up reading 6. So I thought if I get 10 books, then I can really focus on reading those books. But yeah, so we have little 50 prompts. So yeah, I'm gonna pick out the first one. Wait, first let me actually mix it up. I'm not gonna remix it after, don't worry. Why would you guys worry? I'm just not gonna remix it. Like I used to mix the prompts in the jar after every single prompt, but I don't need to. I'm just gonna start. Okay, we have a prompt. Ooh, literally like I said earlier, actually, this is a total like coincidence. Can't get it to focus, but it says a book set in Canada. Wait. Set in Canada. So yeah, I'm gonna go and find a book. I have a few that I think maybe are set in Canada. I'm unsure. Just gonna go take a look at my bookshelves and I will be back. Okay, so recently I actually finished the last Canadian book I think that is on my physical TBR. So I went on Goodreads and I kind of just looked at series that I have to finish, and I will be reading A Photo Finish by Elsie Silver, which is the second book in the Gold Rush Ranch series. I know in September she's also releasing Wildcard, the last book in the Rose Hill series, but I'm trying to not include new releases except if it's a prompt that's like a new release on my TBR, because I know I'll get to them anyways. So I like to like put more books that aren't like already a given this month because it's like coming out. But yeah, A Photo Finish. This one is about Violet Eaton, which is the sister of the Eaton brothers that are all in the Chestnut Springs series. I read the first book back in January and I recently read the Out of the Gate novella. I'm really excited to read it. So I'm quickly gonna describe to you the book. Basically, I don't know what the guy's name is because for some reason it doesn't say that in the description. Okay, his name is Cole. So basically Violet and Cole have been like talking online for a couple of years now. I don't know how long, I think a couple of years. And basically he moves to Ruby Creek, which is the city where Violet Eaton is working at the Gold Rush Ranch, and he kind of recognizes her and he's like, oh my god, that's literally her, and they have to live together. It's a forced proximity cowboy romance. You guys know I love a good cowboy romance. I love Elsie Silver books, and I feel like it's gonna be the perfect book for me. I am super excited to read it. I actually read Out of the Gate thinking that it was gonna be like a modern day couple, and I was like, why am I not seeing anyone from the other books in this book? Then I realized it's their grandparents. It's the grandparents from the guy from the first book and Cole from the second book. It's their grandparents. So I was like, oh, that makes sense, because like I'm not recognizing any of these characters. Maybe I'm gonna need to reread what's the first one? Is it Fall Start? I think that's the name of the first book. Fall Start? Or is it, no, Off to the Races. I was like, am I gonna need to reread Off to the Races because I feel like nothing is working. And then I read at the end, it's like, read the Gold Rush Ranch series to read about their grandchildren. And I was like, oh, now this makes sense. But yeah, I'm really excited. It sounds so good. You guys know I love forced proximity plus like kind of a secret identity romance. I live for it. Now for the second prompt. Ooh, a book that I've put on a TBR in the past. Can I? My writing I know is bad. I have dyspraxia and dyslexia. So writing by hand, even though I love doing it, it's really not my forte. I'm gonna go take a look at all of my past TBRs. I know there's a few that I have in mind, but I need to quickly check if they've actually been on a TBR in the past, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have confirmed that this book, the book that I had in mind, was on a TBR of mine in the past. I know that it was on one this year. I know it was probably, I think it might have been in my TBR sometimes late last year, and that book is Spark of the Everflame by Penn Cole. This one is a fantasy. I think it is a romantasy. It recently got traditionally published sometime this year. I got this copy very recently actually. I used to, like, I put it on my TBR as a Kindle book, but now it's as a physical book. But look at the sprayed edges. Aren't they gorgeous? And okay, so every time I've been going to the bookstore recently, I've, like, for the past couple months, I've always wanted to get this book, but for some reason they never had the first one. They only had the second and third one, so I couldn't get it. But I actually stumbled upon it at a bookstore and I was like, you are coming home with me. I am finally buying this book. But yeah, I'm gonna read you guys the quick description. So in a mortal world colonized by the gods and ruled over by the Descended, their cruel magical offspring, Diem Bellator yearns to escape her poor village. Her mother's sudden disappearance and the discovery of a dangerous secret about her past offer Diem an unexpected opportunity to enter the dark world of the descended royalty and unlock the web of mysteries her mother left behind. With the dying king's handsome, enigmatic heir watching her every move and a ruthless rebel alliance recruiting her to join the growing civil war, Diem will navigate the unwritten rules of love, power, and politics in order to save her family and all of mortal kind. That sounds so good. I love when like the love interest is the son of like the corrupt king, but like at first you're like, okay, no, he's not, like I don't like him, but then he kind of, you find out that like he does not at all like stand for what his dad or his mom is doing, and like he's actually part of the rebellion and everything. Like I love that. Like it kind of almost gives me Shatter Me vibes. I loved it in Shatter Me, and I feel like I will love it in this book. I've heard nothing but great things about this series, and I have a feeling I might continue it like immediately on my Kindle. And I've really been in a fantasy mood, and I mean fall is perfect for fantasy. Oh my god, wait, there's cute like art for the chapters. Well, number one, there's a map inside the book, which you guys know I love a good map. Look, there's a little like tree at the start of every chapter. I love when books have chapter art. Some of my favorite books have amazing chapter art, and honestly sometimes it'll just make the reading experience even better. Now it's time to pick a third prompt. Okay, I'm gonna put it, because I put two, so I put them back, and then I have one in my hand. By the way, I don't even remember what prompts I put, so couldn't even be trying to like get a specific prompt, so I don't know why. I know no one would think that, but I'm always scared. I'm like, what if people think I'm faking the prompt thing and I'm picking ones I want? Why would I do that? It's so, like, my anxiety is dumb sometimes. Okay, so a book set in the current season. So right now, technically at the moment, it is summer because I'm filming this in August, but the month of September, it is becoming fall, so I think I'm gonna pick a fall book. And because I'm trying to film fall content for you guys, and I have a special reading vlog for fall coming, so I think I'm gonna go pick a fall book. Okay, so a little preface behind why specifically this book, because I do have a bunch of fall books, but with the upcoming Love Hypothesis movie being filmed, I kind of have fallen back. I mean, I never got out of it, but like you know how like sometimes you go and like randomly, like one of your interests, all of a sudden you go back into the hyperfixation and then you go out, and then, you know, it's kind of like it ebbs and flows. Is that the word? I don't know. But I've been back in my Raylo era. So of course I had to pick You Again by Kate Goldbeck. Now I don't know if this is a published Raylo fanfiction, but that man is clearly Adam Driver. I mean, I just watched a TikTok of a girl rating how the Adam Driver books were, and she rated this book 5 Adams out of 5. So yeah, I'm gonna read you the quick little description. When Ari and Josh first meet, the wrong kind of sparks fly. They hate each other instantly. A free-spirited, struggling comedian, Ari likes to keep things casual and never sleeps over after hooking up. Josh, a born and bred New Yorker, has ambitious plans to take the culinary world by storm and find the one. They have absolutely nothing in common, except that they happen to be sleeping with the same woman. Ari and Josh never expect their paths to cross again, but years later, as they're both reeling from ego-bruising breakups, a chance encounter leads to a surprising connection: friendship. Turns out, spending time with your former nemesis is fun when you're too sad to hate each other, and too sad for hate sex. As friends without benefits, they find comfort in late night Netflix binges, swiping through each other's online dating profiles, and bickering across boroughs. Until one night, the unspoken boundaries of their platonic friendship begins to blur. With sharp observation and sizzling chemistry, You Again explores the dynamics of co-ed friendship in this irresistibly romantic comedy of modern love in all its form. This book sounds amazing. I love a good friends to lovers. What was the book that I read recently? Oh, I think didn't I read a Friends to Lovers? Actually, I'm pretty sure that really not long ago I read a Friends to Lovers. Like, my favorite thing about Friends to Lovers is that they already have the friendship, and you could just tell that it's two people that care for each other so deeply. I mean, this is technically enemies to friends to lovers, so, but when they like care for each other so deeply that they just can't help but falling in love, I love when that happens. And someone said that this was, I think, kind of like a When Harry Met Sally retelling a bit, and the fall vibes of this book, even on just the cover, look immaculate. All right, now time for our next book. Okay, we have a prompt. Ooh. A food related book. So basically this is kind of just a book that kind of revolves around food in one way or another. So it could be they're in a baking competition, or one of them is a chef and it's a big part, or there's a restaurant, or like, you know, it's like, or the book, like it takes place in a cafe, like something food related in the book. I love those types of books, so I'm gonna go try to find one and I'll be back. Okay, I have figured out which book I want to read. So basically I have found not many books that do have a baker or a chef or someone who works in the baking industry, but I have found one actually that I have put on a TBR in the past, but I will be reading this month, I've decided. And actually, so both characters, so the female main character is a baker. I think she might own a bakery, and the male main character does have he's a Michelin star chef. And that is The Enemy by Sarah Adams. You guys know I love Sarah Adams. Her books are amazing. And yeah, I'm just gonna read you guys the quick description. It's an enemies to lovers, duh, because the enemy. Enemies should never get a second chance, but this one might. It's been 12 years since June Broden has seen her high school enemy and secret crush, Ryan Henderson. That's a long time to hold a grudge over some petty feud, but the sharp memory of him dangling a kiss at graduation, then pulling away at the last second, has fueled many angry fantasies since. Now it's her chance to get even. Ryan, along with most of their high school class, is back in town for June's best friend's wedding, and June is eager to show the former bully exactly what he missed out on. A lot has changed since their early days. June is now the southern queen of gourmet donuts, not to mention with the most desired bachelorettes in her small town. What she's not expecting, though, is for Ryan to show up looking like Adonis and touting his career success as the youngest chef ever to win 3 Michelin stars. How dare he try to one-up her revenge plot? Luckily, June never backs down from a challenge. I love when like there's like really a revenge plot in a book, and like specifically romance books against the other person, and then they end up falling in love. Like that is the best thing ever to me. This one I think it's a short, like it's like under 300 pages, which is perfect. It is baking vibes, which I love. You guys know I love baking vibes in a book, and a chef, so I feel like this is gonna be really, really fun. And I feel like there's gonna be a lot of banter between our characters, and it's just really gonna be a fun book. And maybe it's not gonna be 5 stars, but I can definitely tell that it's at least gonna be a 4.25 stars. Now for another prompt. I have one. Oh, I have to flip it around. This one, what does it say? A gothic romance. Oh my god, wait. I am really excited for this prompt, actually. I don't know what I'm gonna pick. I don't think I have any on my shelves right now because I technically have a gothic fantasy, but I wanna try one that I've never heard about, so I'm probably gonna pick one on Kindle, so I'll be right back. Okay, so the dark gothic romance I will be reading in the month of September is The Poisoner by Ivy Ophelia. I think it's like Ivy, like the name Ivy, but written literally I.V. I'm super excited for this book. I've been hearing so many people talk about it, and I don't think it's super long. It's like a 450 page. For me, that is the perfect length for a dark gothic romance. It is a 450 page book. And yeah, I'm gonna read you the little blurb. Well, little, no, it's like the actual blurb. Amidst the gaslit alleys and cobblestone streets of Victorian London, 2 killers find themselves entangled in a waltz they cannot escape. Alina Liss, botanist and hobbyist poisoner, has a pastime of killing unsavory men in her twisted scene of poetic justice. When she targets the conceited playboy, Silas Forbes, only to find him in her apothecary the following week, she discovers human men are the least of her problems. The pair's unlikely association sparks gossip among affluent society. As their mysterious bonds deepens, a chilling truth emerges. Concealed identities, lurking foes, and a question as plentiful as the Hydra's head brew within this gothic tale of violent passion. Will Silas and Alina find themselves in each other's arms, or will the shadows of their past keep them apart? I am so excited to read this. As you guys know, last year I fell in love with with the first gothic romance book I ever read, and I've been trying to find a book that has those exact same vibes ever since. My favorite book of last year was Nocticadia. I read it in October, and this year my goal was to read more gothic romance that kind of gave me like that spooky, like bone-chilling, creepy vibe. Like creepy in a way that like the book is like dark gothic, that it gives you the heebie-jeebies, and I get scared easily, so it probably will not scare the average person, but for me, who like I hate like horror movies and stuff like that, like for me that is perfect because it's not too scary, but it's scary enough that like it still like gives you like a haunting feeling. All right, on to our, where did I put that prompt? Yeah, I think we're missing a prompt somewhere. I know that was my 5th book, right? Let me go check. Yeah, that was our 5th book. I don't know, I put a prompt somewhere that I don't know where. I'll have to look for it after. How many prompts do I have right now? I have 2. I'm gonna pick the one that my fingers were on because it was on the outside and I saw a tiny bit of what it said. I didn't see anything I didn't see anything the other one said, so I'm gonna pick this one. Anyways, you guys, oh damn. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see this. A book over 500 pages. Go scour my bookshelves right now because I need to find a book over 500 pages. I don't have many of those, but I will find it, I promise. I'm back with a book over 500 pages, and that is Den of Vipers by K.A. Knight. Now, if you have read the paperback copy, you might be like, girl, this book is 450 pages. But when I looked on my Kindle, because I have it on both, it said that this book was 680 pages. And honestly, with the tiny font and the size of the paperback, okay, let me find a standard. This is a standard paperback, okay guys? This book is bigger than most books, and the Kindle copy is literally 200 pages more. Oh well, all books are falling now. The Kindle copy Kindle version is 500, no, almost 200 pages more, no, over 200 pages more than the physical copy. So I decided to go in between and say that it's like 550 pages or something like that. So yes, the paperback is less than 500, but the book is actually the equivalent of more than 500 pages, you know, because like, look at this tiny text. This is tiny. But yeah, I'm just gonna quickly describe to you guys what, well, this quickly, like, yeah, basically describe this book to you guys. I don't know why my brain is not braining today. Sorry. This is my first YouTube video that I'm filming in about a month now, I think, or over a month or something like that, because I was on vacation and I had a bunch of pre-filmed videos, so my brain isn't working, but I'm back. So basically this is about a girl who it's kind of a mafia romance. Her dad is in the mafia, or like has debts with the mafia, and to be able to repay his debt, he goes full One Direction fanfic from 2012, and he sells his daughter to the four rulers, or four guys, yeah, four rulers, like the vipers of the mafia, and she kind of becomes theirs, I guess. I don't know. I've heard really like unhinged things about this book in a good way. I fear this is gonna, like, I fear in a good way, it's gonna give me almost like really fanfic vibes, Wattpad vibes, which is exactly what I'm looking for. And yeah, basically she has to live with them, and she's just like, they're like, no, you're ours. And she's like, what do you mean? They're like, your dad is like, gave you away as, your dad was like a really bad dad and gave you away to repay his debts. Which is an insane thing, but the four guys had all said it as a joke to the dad. They were like, oh yeah, no, like, good, I guess, give us your daughter. Like, they weren't even serious about it. And the dad was like, yes, absolutely, I will do that to repay my debts. And they're like, you're such a bad dad, but I guess we'll take her. I don't know. It's insane. If that ever happened in real life, I'd be like, these people need to all go to jail except the girl. She needs to be put in witness protection program. But it's a mafia book, so I'm kind of like, oh my god, love this, living for it. Like, it's giving fanfic in the best way possible, and I'm just so excited to read it. I've been wanting to read this forever since it was kind of popular on Book Talk, like 2021, that everyone was reading it and like being like, oh my god, this book is insane in the best, most unhinged way possible. And back then I was like, it's not for me. But now I'm like, this book sounds, I've started loving an unhinged book, so I'm really excited for this one. Time for, wait, that was our 6th, so time for a 7th pick. How many do I have? I have 1? Yeah. So here, let's open this. What does this say? Ooh, a romantasy book. Let's go pick out a romantasy book and I will be back. So the romantasy book I will be reading in the month of September is The Hurricane Wars by Thea Guanzon. As you guys have heard me say earlier, I'm back in my Reylo era. This is I think, published Reylo fanfiction. I had to pick it out. I mean, I was forced to, guys. This is against my will. I need to finish this book. I'm currently 51 pages in and I am absolutely vibing with it. The Reylo Star Wars vibes are there. And I love when it's a like actual fantasy published fanfiction, because that means that they kept the Star Wars-ish elements in the book. And I'm a Reylo girly, so of course I am a giant Star Wars nerd, Marvel nerd. I'm just an overall like movie nerd, so I'm so excited to read this one. And I don't know if I'm gonna read the second one immediately, because I've heard that it ends on a cliffhanger, and book 3 hasn't even been, like, there's no release date yet even for book 3, so I'm scared, but at the same time, I'm like, I need to binge it. I fear I might be about to binge this book and the second book, because I have it on my Kindle right now for Libby, so it's gonna be very exciting. I'm just so excited to finish it, because as I was like reading the first 50 pages, I was super into it, but then I got sick and life happened, and then I never ended up continuing it, because when I was finally back in like reading again, I was no longer in the mood for this book specifically, but I feel like it's gonna be perfect for fall. I also just realized that I did not read you the blurb, so I will do it right now and then I'll pick the next prompt. So all Taliesin All Taliesin has ever known is the Hurricane Wars. Growing up an orphan in a nation under the siege by the ruthless Night Emperor, she found her family along the soldiers who fight for freedom. But Taliesin is hiding a deadly secret. Light magic courses through her veins, a blazing power that can cut through the Night Empire's shadows, believed to have been wiped out years ago. Prince Alaric is his father's weapon, sworn to obliterate any threats to the Night Empire's rule with his mighty sword magic. He and Taliesin lock into a deadly dance that neither seems able to truly win, until, in a clash of light and dark, their powers merge to create a strange new force, and a dangerous forbidden attraction reveals itself. This war can only end with them, but an even greater danger is coming. And Taliesin and Alaric must decide, can they work together to save their world, or will they end up destroying each other? I really feel that this might be the Reylo fanfic that Reylo published fanfic that might give me the most Reylo vibes ever, because I can promise you we will probably be getting some fighting scenes. Probably, honestly, I'm guessing that there's probably going to be a scene like that, "You're nothing but not to me," like the scene in, I think is it in The Last Jedi? The Last Jedi? Not The Rise. I don't think it's in The Rise of Skywalker. I think it's in The Last Jedi that there's that scene. So I feel like it's gonna be absolutely perfect. We have a prompt. This is our 8th prompt out of 10. I'm gonna stop at 10. So I'm gonna have to pick another one. I don't know what I'm gonna choose, but a published, wait, can you guys read that? A published fan fiction. I fear because right after I picked it, I was literally thinking, oh no, what if I get the published fan fiction one right after and I don't know what to pick? So I fear I might have to go do some research on some books that are published fan fiction. And I know some people aren't the biggest fans of books that are published fan fiction, but I am. So I'm gonna go do some research and find one maybe that I didn't even know was a published fan fiction that is. Guys, I fear the Reylo fanfiction authors may have won in this video, because we have another one for this, and it is My Roommate is a Vampire. I know from the cover it might not look like a published Reylo fanfiction, but it is. I honestly could not find any other ones that I hadn't read from, like, that are popular or available to me, and this one is actually a perfect coincidence because I literally have it on my Kindle right now with my Libby, like my library. So yeah, I will be reading My Roommate is a Vampire. I will very quickly read you guys the blurb of the book. I'm super excited. I haven't heard much about it. I've seen the cover on social media for years, but I think it was released in like 2022 or something like that. 2023. But like ever since it came out, I've seen the cover everywhere, but I haven't read it. Like I haven't heard what it's about. So I'm gonna read you guys what it's about, and I will learn that as well. True love is at stake in this charming debut romantic comedy. Cassie Greenberg loves being an artist, but it's a tough way to make a living. On the brink of eviction, she's desperate when she finds a too-good-to-be-true apartment in a beautiful Chicago neighborhood. Cassie knows there has to be a catch. Only someone with a secret to hide would rent out a room for that price. Of course, her new roommate, Frederick J. Fitzwilliams, is far from normal. He sleeps all day, is out at night on business, and talks like he walked out of a Regency romance novel. He also leaves Cassie heart-melting notes around the apartment, cares about her art, and asks about her day, and he doesn't look half bad shirtless. On the rare occasion they're both home and awake. But when Cassie finds bags of blood in the fridge that definitely weren't there earlier, Frederick has to come clean. Cassie's sexy new roommate is a vampire, and he has a proposition for her. This sounds amazing. I actually love a good vampire romance. I was very late on the Twilight train, but I did read them when I was 16 a couple years ago, and absolutely have loved vampire romances since then. Bride is literally one of my favorite Ali Hazelwood books. Honestly, one of the top books I read this year was Loving a Vampire is Total Chaos by Aura Hayes. So I feel like this one is gonna be perfect for me. I am super excited. And yeah, it is time to pick the last prompts. I have 2 more to go. So I'm gonna pick up the first one, and then like I'll do pick one, choose a book, pick one, choose a book. So this is the 9th. Ooh. Oh my god, can I get it to behave? behave. A YA fantasy. Okay, I'll be back. I'm just gonna go pick out the book. Okay, so we have a YA fantasy, Foxglove, the second book in the Belladonna series. I read Belladonna about a year ago and absolutely loved it. And it is about this girl who cannot die. She literally, honestly, she fully cannot die, but whenever she's near someone, like, I don't know, she stays at their house, death shows up and the person that she's staying with or she's close to dies. And right now she's about to go to her last family ever that's like alive. And she goes to their house and they're like super rich, and basically there's like a whole murder mystery in the whole thing, and there's also a little romance between her and Death, and it is a beautiful gothic YA fantasy. And I don't know why I haven't read the second book yet. I know there's 3 books out, but it was so good that I've been scared to read the second one. Sometimes if the first book in a series is really good, like a 5-star, amazing, breathtaking, I'm scared to read the next book because I'm scared that I won't live up to the hype that I built for the first one. But I will be finally reading this book. I have decided September, like this month, is when the fall reading starts, and I will be reading this book. I will be finishing this series probably, honestly. Okay, now it is time to pick the last prompt. Okay, do I have one? No, I have 2. Okay, I'm gonna repick because I had 2. How many do I have? I have 1. I have 1. Guys, you know how earlier I was like, I feel like I'm missing 1 prompt? I had put the gothic romance one back in the jar. So we're gonna pick out another prompt because I literally already picked a book for this prompt. Okay. I'm picking out a book. I have 1 prompt in my hands. That makes, why did I pick it out again? Like, why did I put it back? And out of all 50 prompts, the fact that that was the one that I picked out is crazy. A book set on a different continent. I'm gonna go pick out a book. So I live in North America, if you couldn't tell by my Canadian accent. I live in North America, so I will be picking out a book that is not set in North America. And I will be back. Okay guys, I'm back. It took me a while because I was trying to find a book like that wasn't, you know, I didn't want to like go easy and be like, oh, a book set in Europe, because like I'm trying to read books that are set in different places that like I've never heard of, and I feel like a book set in Europe would be an easy out because most romance books I think that are popular and published are set in North America or Europe, and I feel like that would have been an easy out. Like, this is trying to help me find books that are out of what I usually read, and I found a dark romantasy book. I think, yeah, dark fantasy romance. It is called Obsidian Feathers by N. Caceres. N. Caceres, I think that's how you pronounce the author's name. But yeah, I'm gonna read you the quick little blurb. It is a duology, I think. I don't know. No, I think is it a duet? No, it's not a duet, I don't think. Pretty sure it's not. Okay, so Angie. My life has become anything but my own. The shiny rock, the sensible fiance, and a forced vacation to El Salvador, courtesy of my insufferable boss. But I play the game for the sake of my mother's aristocratic aspirations, and for some peace. Little did I know that El Salvador would lead me straight back to a wolfish grin, the one that has me ready to leave it all and get lost in the jungle. My instincts are telling me to run, and a single night's bad decisions leads me to a group of cadejo filled with glittering magic, broad smiles, and a twisted secret that will unweave everything I think I know about nightmares. I'm pretty sure this book I've read that this book starts in San Francisco, but like 90% of the book is in El Salvador. So, Sal. The girl with gold-flecked eyes thought I was joking when I pledged myself to her in that playground, but we were both bound in accordance with Totoco law, and 20 years later, my cadejo can wait no longer for the mating ceremony. It's cute that she thinks she's marrying some snotty businessman, as if I'd let a man so unworthy of my Sochi take her to bed every night. No, now that I have her scent again, the dance is over. Whichever direction she runs, I'll be there, whatever the cost. I think this book has, I don't know if it's Omegaverse, but I know it has werewolves. That book sounds amazing. I am so excited and hopefully I'll find a new favorite author. I mean, that could be fun. And I mean, I realized recently that most of the books that I read, or like that aren't fantasy, are set in Europe and North America, and I was like, I really need to read more books that are set all over the world. Like, you know, like sometimes if you don't pay attention and you do read whatever is super popular, you end up reading, you know, books set all in the same location, and it's important to read books that happen, like that take place everywhere in the world, because that's how you learn about different cultures. Like, that's a great way to learn about it. And I feel like I often find new favorites when I get not out of my comfort zone, but out of what I usually read. So I feel like this is a great way to do that. And yeah, I'm super excited for it. And I'll definitely try to find books that are set a little bit everywhere in the world. And I feel like that was one of the things I wanted to try to do with my TBR jar. I'm pointing to it right now, like it's right there. I wanted to find books that I maybe wouldn't necessarily usually read if I stayed within the same books that I read. So I feel like this is gonna be fun. Guys, I'm gonna pull out the dumb North American card. I really don't know my geography. El Salvador is literally in North America. Well, technically Central America, but North America. So I'm still gonna keep that one on my TBR, but I will find another book, maybe set in Asia or Africa. I'll be back. I'm back with a book set in Africa. So this is actually a book by an author I've read from before. I read her book that came out a couple of years ago. I think it came out in 2022 or 2021. And it was set in South Africa. This one is also set in South Africa, I'm pretty sure. And it is called Single Dads Club by Therese Bahari. But yeah, I really feel actually so dumb because El Salvador is in North America. It's not in South America. My mind, like I was like, yeah, Latin America, South America. No, North America. Central America is technically in North America. So worst case I read two, like I guess people, well, since it's technically grouped into North America, since even though some people call it Central America, I'm grouping it in North America, and in worst case I'll just read a book set in I will be reading a book that is set in Central America and another one that is set in Africa. I honestly really, I feel like a dumb North American. Like, you know the like stereotypes of like, oh, people in North America don't know their geography. That's how I feel right now. All right, so the little blurb, well, I don't know why I keep saying little blurb. It is the actual full-size blurb that I'm reading. So, in this warmly funny romance about finding your way, opposites attract when an ex-heiress and a single dad cross paths, only to find that their separate roads may lead to the same destination. Rowan Quinn knows fatherhood is a role he doesn't want to take on, until he unexpectedly finds himself a single dad. Like, he finds himself a single, sorry guys, my camera battery died. I am back. But yeah, like, not he finds himself a single dad as in he finds someone who is a single dad, but he becomes a single dad. He uproots his perfectly constructed life to move to a tight-knit coastal community in South Africa, where with the help of his grandmother, Rowan has a shot of giving his son the family he never had. Once footloose and fancy-free, former heiress Delilah Huntington is now a waitress in Sugarbush Bay, determined to build a better life and a better self. So when she meets introverted Rowan, she makes it her personal mission to induct him into the town's circle of single dads to give him the support he needs. The more Delilah lends her help to an out-of-his-depth Rowan, the more Rowan begins to realize that family is what you make it, and just maybe Delilah could be part of his. I'm actually super excited to read this book. I really liked the book that I read by that author a couple of years ago. It was really good. And I read it. It was like a blind date with a book, but a free version. You know how like bookstores often get ARCs sometimes because they're booksellers. Well, they can't sell them. So one of the bookstores where I went to, I think in 2021 in Halifax, or in the Halifax, no, I think it was in Lunenburg, which is an hour away from Halifax. During the pandemic, you know, we traveled close to us, so we went to Nova Scotia, and there was a little blind date with a book area, and I picked out a book that was like, oh, a romance books in South Africa, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. And it was it And They Lived Happily Ever After? What was the name of it? Yeah, And They Lived Happily Ever After. That was a really good book. It was a 4-star, and I've been like, I haven't heard of that author ever since, but I was like, oh, I wonder if she wrote any books. Well, she did. And this one is a single dad romance. It's on Kindle Unlimited. So if you do want to read a book set in South Africa, read it. Also the book set in El Salvador, which is, now we all found out my actual terrible geography knowledge, set not in South America. It is in North America. But if you also want to read that one, it is also on Kindle Unlimited. So both of those are set on Kindle Unlimited. And I think this author, are all of her books on Kindle Unlimited, or is that the only one? That is her only book on Kindle Unlimited, but definitely go read it because she has very good books. I mean, very good book that I've only read one, but yeah. Now I'm gonna go back to the video, the clip that I filmed with the intro, because I finished this video and I was like, wait, no, this El Salvador, that's not South America. And then I realized how dumb I am, but I will be reading both, I've decided. No, actually, I know why I thought it was South America. It's not just me, okay? I'm blaming Reddit because I was on the romance books subreddit. I literally forgot why that I thought it was in South America. It's literally because oh, it was Central and South America. That's why, actually. Because I was like, literally why? Like, turns out it's in Central America. But hey, I'm reading books set, if you count Central America as a continent, then I'm reading books set in 2 different continents that I don't live in and don't usually read books that are set in it. Anyways, bye, love y'all. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. If you want me to play this TBR game, like play on the, if you wanted me to like do another TBR video with a TBR jar, or if you want me to like, I don't know, try to create a board game of sorts with my TBR and do that next month, like I'm always open for suggestions. If you have really fun videos that you're like, oh, I feel like this is, like I've never seen anyone do this type of video, could you do it? Like, I am so open to like suggestions for videos. I love when, I mean, I want to make content that you guys like, so if you guys have videos that you want me to do, definitely comment it down below. If you've read any of these videos, please let me know your positive thoughts. I don't want to hear negative thoughts, because sometimes if I go in knowing that someone has said a specific negative thing about a book that I'm reading, and like I'm not talking about like, oh, this author did this, this, and that. I'm talking more like, oh, this book is bad, I hated it because I felt like the characters were like really annoying. Like that, I ideally not read before reading a book, because then it can negatively impact my reading experience. But if you love these books, please let me know. I'm so excited for them. I feel like 10 books will definitely help me focus on finally getting to some specific books, my TBR, that I've been wanting to get to forever. I'm really gonna try to narrow it down to 10 every month, also because or else the videos will be too long. But yeah, I love you guys, and as always, if you want to find me anywhere else, I'm on Instagram, TikTok, all those other platforms, and I will be seeing you guys either later this week or early next week. Bye, love you.